What's going on, world? This is your boy AD. We are the Other Guys podcast. Today we're reacting to Kevinsamuels. Is it time to give up? Let's get into it.
All right, and don't forget to stay to the end. We are going to be giving advice for ladies on if it's time to give up, and it really just depends on what you're looking for. So let's jump right into it here. All right, and
From the boardroom to the street corner, I've had men giving me shout outs for in less than 1 minute encapsulating everything. Everything. When it comes right down to it, you belong to me. The kids belong to you. I belong to God. We report up. So the question of the day is, ladies, are you ready to give up? Is it time to give up? Because we ain't partners. The kind of men that you ladies say you want, the kind of men that you ladies say you want to lead you, I'm still trying to get this microphone placed. No, fuck it. The kind of men you ladies say you want to lead you, they're not going to go out in the world and conquer amongst other men and then come home and rub you and coddle. Is it time to give up? Is it time to give up on this notion of partners? Is it time to give up on the notion of we're equal? Is it time to give up on the notion of the right man? Is it time to give up? Because, ladies, I want you guys to ask yourself a question. If you lived in Ukraine 3 months ago, you could pop a lot of this new wave woman stuff. Name 3 months ago, 12 months ago, 18 months ago. A lot of women in Eastern Europe were saying one thing, but now you got other women like trying to get the heck out of Dodge when you got what? And if you have male on your birth certificate, that means if you're non-binary or you're you transition into a man, a trans man, you gotta stay.
all right. So in relationships, all right. So that shit for right there, and inside that one. Okay, so that's the premise on if it is time to give up. What are you guys' opinions?
Hey, let me start by saying this, bro. Like, the whole Ukraine thing is timely, right? And we make arguments, and people
I
say,
don't think people in Ukraine would agree, but continue.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but like, I guess what I'm saying is that like we make arguments, and you'll say, I've heard guys say, if we were to go back into the jungle, if we were in the wild, like you would want a man, you'd be more feminine, and I agree with all of that. But like, people think because we live in the U.S. and we're so prosperous and all that, that we can't have what's happening there happen to us. You know what I'm saying? Even on
Right.
a smaller scale, and like anything is possible, bro. Like, so it's interesting that it takes things like that to make women understand, like, oh shit, like I do need a man. You know what I'm saying? Or I do not want to be equal. I do not want to fight. I want to get
Right.
the hell out of Dodge. I want the men to do the fighting.
Absolutely. What about you, Spoon?
Yeah, I think yeah, it was a strange analogy, but I'm a little disappointed in his lighting. I wish this video was better, but it does kind of highlight how it all gets back to the basics at some point, right? Like it when the conditions are extreme, it's like the nigga with the most food is the most valuable, right? And it just really shows you like how you know being just resource survival driven kind of puts you in a mindset of like, well, let's when like survival or like success becomes better than like happiness and like feeling good and just
Interesting.
a lot of things about feeling
Priorities
when you
change.
got surplus it gets really about like you know the it's more about the cherry on top than the actual bowl of ice cream, right? So it's a little weird.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. It's like, as my thoughts are, the more civilized, right, and the longer it's been civilized, the further away from moving with survival. Because my take on things is this: it's pretty simple. The only reason we have intelligence is to better utilize our instincts. But today, people want us to get away from human nature at all. You shouldn't care
Right.
about how people look on the outside. Everybody's the same and equal. Everybody, they want us to get away, further away from nature, the more comfortable they are in the world. It's just like, and so the more comfortable people are, they get further away from making decisions based on survival, and longevity gets more comfortable. They want to do more. The more superficial the decisions and the things that they deem important are, they get further and
Hmm.
further away. Is that kind of what you're saying? Cause
Yeah,
that's,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel the same way.
yeah.
One big thing too that's consistent with ladies, and this hits because when anytime I have a conversation with a lady, or you see any of these conversations online, one of the big things that ladies will say, what do men do? What do they do? What do they bring? Well, you're asking me what I bring to the table. I bring myself. I am the table. And a guy will say, well, a man's protection. Well, I don't need a man's protection, right? And then, or they'll say that, or the ones that are very slick, they'll say something like, well, you don't have to do that every day. I have to cook every day. I have to clean. You want me to watch the kids every day, and so on and so on and so on. And that's what they'll hit you with. And going forward, anybody who's watching this video, you guys, I'm gonna go up and say, hey, how much how much would you have to be paid to be a bodyguard, to take a bullet from somebody? Something dangerous happened, you jump in front of them. How much would you need to get paid? Most of them would say, you couldn't pay me enough. I'm a 10, ain't nobody more important than me, yada, yada. Okay, cool. But if, say, somebody does, hey, $100,000, 200,000. Right now they're hiring, uh, uh, what's that, mercenaries for Ukraine to do just that. And the mercenaries, the job ad is posted saying a $1,000 to $2,000 a day, and so for
Yeah,
protection.
that makes sense.
And women like, oh, you don't have to do that every day. I'm like, well, how valuable is your life? I was like, you know what? Not even how much would you get paid. Would you take a job that said, hey, you have to protect this person with your life, but you won't get paid unless it has to happen, and we're only going to be we're only going to pay you if it happens, and you're only going to get paid for like a couple days worth of gratitude after that, and then it's done. But you have to be on guard all the time. You have to be willing to die at
Wait,
any
did you
time.
say we're gonna pay you in gratitude?
Yeah, well, yeah, we're
Mm.
gonna pay you in gratitude, and you only get that gratitude for about a week or two afterwards. Then we're gonna tell you to shut up, enough with your pathetic male ego. But you need to be ready to die. You got to protect me, but you don't get no benefits before, and you're gonna hardly get any after because you don't have to do it every day. But that's the really stuff. Well, you don't have to do that every day. I'm like, well, how much is your life worth?
Right. It does happen every day, even if there's no action being taken. Right. To be prepared to protect and be prepared to provide. Like
Nah.
you know.
When the lady says that, she's saying your life is not valuable. She said,
Right.
you know what, cooking and cleaning for 5 years, I'd rather die because that's easier.
Yeah.
What you're saying, I got to cook and clean for 5 years, but somebody come through the door, and that 5 years from now, and you get shot. Well, that's just the same as the cooking and cleaning. That's
Yeah.
how
Why you
much
not
I
getting
don't
shot
value your
every?
life.
Why you not getting shot every day? Are you
Yeah,
really protecting me?
yeah, exactly.
Am
Why
I
you don't?
really
Why don't you
protected?
get shot every single
Where,
day?
where's the
Oh.
danger? I need some
and
proof that I'm being protected. I need somebody to come and punch the shit out of me.
Yeah, yeah, you got to go fight.
Oh, good.
It's
You
so
gonna get punched
maybe
every
this
day.
is why. I mean, they maybe these guys are listening to them. This is why some guys go out and fight all the time. And maybe the men that go fight bar fights, maybe they're just more appreciated. But the other
Yeah.
thing is the huge contradiction is those same ladies will pause. They'll look at you dead in the eye and they'll go, "Oh, why should y'all be treated differently? Because I can give birth." I'm like, "Have you?" But no, but I can.
Right.
Okay. Okay. And I could die when I do that. And you're like, okay, but you don't have to do that every day. And you got to do it a
That's
couple times and
true.
then you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The person.
it's a huge contradiction in the argument, but the same person will say the same thing in there. That's how you know that it's absolute nonsense. But yeah, in Ukraine, men 18 to 60, they're banned from leaving. And let it be to where you said, hey, you know what? Hey, you lady, you got to fight. what is Kevin Samuels call it? Big Shirley? Big Shirley, you got to fight
Big
to the death.
Shirley.
You can't leave because somebody talking crap on the block. We need you to go over there and handle it. We might need you to, so you need to go stand on the street. You got to get your Glock ready. Like, hell no, what the heck is wrong with you? There be
Mhm.
protests, riots everywhere. I can't believe they're making women do that. My body, my choice. And but same thing men have been saying forever. It's really not. It's not your body, your choice. It's not my body, my choice. Men don't have an option. Everybody in this, if something happened, every single one of us would be called up for the draft, and we couldn't be. Well, you know what? I'm a 10. No, and I don't believe I want to do that. And it's my body, my choice. Right after they hit us over the head with the barrel of a gun, we wake up in training camp, and they say,
Yeah.
"Listen, in 2 weeks, you jumping out of a plane." That's how. That's pretty much how it goes. But yeah, asking ladies what they want. Well, is it time to give up on? Is it time to give up on what they want? I think it is if it doesn't line up with their actions. Ladies want things. They want things, but it doesn't line up with their actions. So it's like, or their choice of men. By the way, I heard one lady say it's a video. She said, "Telling women to pick better men is another way that men are getting out of responsibility, and they need to do better." What do you guys think of that? Isn't that an awesome statement? That was so smart.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Um, to pick, I mean, ultimately, here's what I believe, bro, and why I think it sucks to be a loser. And by loser, I mean a victim, who takes no responsibility for their outcomes. Is at the end of the day, bro, when you're on your deathbed, like you're gonna have to look back and say, I made these choices, I got me here. You know what I'm saying? Your parents are gonna be long gone. So like it is if it's not the woman's responsibility to pick better men, then whose job is it?
It's not her father's. He shouldn't have a say. Nobody can tell her what to do. It's her body, her choice.
Come
So
on.
I don't.
There are good men, bad men, good women, bad. You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, if your discernment sucks, it's just that's a you problem.
Right.
No
Absolutely.
one forced you, to be with, whoever you chose to be with long term.
Yeah. And if you want men to be better, you just gotta. I don't think they're understanding the correlation between men will be better if you pick better men. Men will be better. You set the standard on what gets picked. If you pick a bullshit, like why would I give you more than bullshit if that's all that is required to
Yeah.
if the bar is this low, you don't need to do a high jump over it. You know what I'm saying? You can step right over that.
So check this out. This is I had a conversation with a friend. This is a tangent, but it relates. She is a principal at a school, right, somewhere in Texas, and we were talking about our education system versus education system in India, right? And here, the U.S. government's policy is we're going to give school to everybody from age 6 to age 18. You got to be in school. It's about spreading all of our resources over as many students as we possibly can, right? And so, you have black boys graduating high school with like a fourth grade reading level or something like that, right? Versus in India, like you get everyone goes to school up until like eighth grade or some shit like that. And then there's a cutoff. Like you have to have a certain amount of grades to even be able to continue school.
Ooh.
And then those kids get the resources. After that, like if you don't qualify, you just go get a job or whatever. And so like it's not even fair. The difference in the quality that they get is night and day. You know what I'm saying? Like our students versus their students in the last 4 years, right? And so back to what Spoon was saying, like if it doesn't require much, right? Like if I'm picking people and I'm saying, hey, I'm just going to spread my resources thin. I'm gonna, pick just any man, right? The requirements aren't very high. Versus if I'm like, hey, this is my standard, this is what I give, and this is what I expect in return, then like those two women are going to have a drastically different outcome in the kind of men, the quality of men that they get.
Yeah. It's like complaining about the job you picked. You look at 10
Mm-hmm.
jobs and you take it and you're like, this job is garbage. This is trash. You're like, well, okay, your job is bad.
Well, you
Okay,
picked it.
you picked it. Do you want to switch jobs? Just quit complaining about it.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
quit the job and then, or do better, get a better job. I think it's what is it? Competency gets compensated, right? So you have to know something. You have to be able. You have to be at a certain level to be able to demand certain things. All right, to earn certain things, to get certain things, you have to be at a certain level. And the one thing that ladies are afraid of is someone telling them, well, the men that you have, that's the level that you're at. That's what you qualify for,
Yeah,
and it's a
that's a
reflection
harsh
of you.
reality. That's a harsh
Yeah.
Yeah,
reality.
I
Yep.
said absolutely. I used to tell people like, look, your world is a reflection of you. Okay, your world is a reflection of you, and anyone who believes that they are a reflection of the world, they've already failed. You have to create your own reality. For all this talk about my truth and all of this stuff, these are some helpless people, you know. But so this one is from the next clip, as y'all saw the young lady. That's from a street interview we did before, but it drives the point home. So we're gonna toss it in here, and it's like, do ladies really want what they're asking for? Is it time for them to give up? Partnerships. So this is about partnerships. Do ladies
I
really
remember
want
this.
partnerships? You remember this one?
I absolutely remember this.
Let's introduce everybody else to it. Let's see, lady, how do you feel about partnerships? Are we have partnerships, like you said, right? And so in partnership, let's say you're going to start a business, and in this business, you brought your talents, your skills were at a certain level, and someone else wanted to go into business with you. And when they wanted to go into business, they say they only could bring 50% of what you were bringing. All
Okay.
right, 50%, 75% of what you were bringing. They couldn't max it out. And would you go into business with that person? They wanted to have 50% ownership in the business, but you were doing more work.
No.
It's like that. Would you find that would be like a bad deal?
Yeah.
Okay, it's like I don't want to do that. Okay, so you know today, you have friends that are ladies, right? And you have conversations, and a lot of times ladies will have a list of things like, this is what my man needs to do, right? You need to have this, 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 this. Have you ever had a friend that says, hey, I got this whole list, this is what I bring to a man, this, and this?
Yes.
You have. That's good. Do you have a list like that?
See, but I mean,
I
sure, sure. I haven't thought about it though because I've been in a relationship for so long. So.
Right. Well, that's when it's even more important, right? When you're in a relationship, because you need to be, because you can be consistent in providing those things. Right.
Say, bro, the way you asked those questions was just hilarious to me.
Yeah. Well, she was, as you can see, a lot of ladies, and she was a good sport. She was awesome, and I think she was in a 7-year relationship, and I really hope her relationship worked out. I hope that she started paying attention to some of this stuff, because there were some other things she said that really needed to be worked on. Because even in a 7-year relationship with a guy, they don't live together. I don't think marriage was on the cards, but that's gonna be. And I saw things throughout that conversation that would give me pause if I was in a relationship with her. As
Hmm.
attractive as she is, that's not gonna do it. That just gets you the, hey, what's up, right?
Hmm.
But yeah, so partnerships. You know, there was actually this is a story, all right? Because it's the story where this guy, he was in a real partnership with a lady. They didn't have any kids. They were dating, and everything was 50-50. It was down the middle, like ladies say they want equal amount of respect. They want an equal amount of respect. So 50-50 down the middle. Perfect. He said, cool, I love it. This man made much more money than she did. He's a top 10% guy, made over 100 grand. Let's just say she made 50, he made 100. They went on vacation, and he had the money for things that she didn't have the money for. So he went on different like the tours and different things and different events that she
He'll be
could
back.
not afford. She
He's
couldn't
like, I'll be
afford.
back.
She she was sitting at the hotel, and so she posted the story, and she said that, and women started dragging him. Well, why he doing that? Blah blah blah. I'm like, this is a partnership. Look, in a partnership, if I start a business with someone and they only can invest 25,000, but we needed 100,000. I put $75,000 in, and then we need to go we need to go do business here, there. I'm like, well, here, let me pay for all your flights. Let me pay for all. No, look, man, this is stuff that you got to do. This is we're in a partnership. I'm not. We're not. I'm not taking care of you. I'm not your man. I'm your partner. I'm not your husband. I'm your partner. It's not my job to pay for you. We're partners. You pay for yourself. I pay for myself. And so, but he got dragged. They thought that was wrong. I thought that's what ladies were asking for, 50-50 partnership. But if you think about it, it's kind of insane. If you're a woman, okay. So this is the test right here. You can tell if a woman wants what she says she wants, or if she understands what she's even saying. Hey, do you want, like, traditional relationship where you have a man that like leads, or do you want like a partnership where y'all equal? Most ladies say, I want a partnership where we're equal. Cool. That's awesome. And actually, and men, find these women. Go for the women who want partnerships and give it to them. Give them the 50-50 relationship they want. Have them pay 50% on the dates. You know? Oh, I paid for the date last time, you paying for the date this time. Right? You don't have to spend money on these people, right? Right? Allegedly, right? Because what these
He said
ladies will say
allegedly.
is, you just ask them, here's the test. Hey, should your man make more money than you, less money than you, or the same amount as you? Any woman that says he should make the same amount or more, at least the same, that's a woman that's being dishonest and doesn't want a partner. Why not? There is no corporation, no organization, there's no government institution that's going to peg your income to hers. It's impossible. There's nothing. You get a job and they're like, hey, we're going to give you a raise. And you're like, no, 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 no. My boyfriend, he's not getting a raise till next year. So could you hold off on that? No, it's not happening. So if what these women are saying is, if you get in a relationship with them and you need to make the same amount or more, if they get a promotion just 6 months before you do, you're in trouble. They're gonna leave you. They don't want a partner because then it just wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter that she makes more money than you. What they be looking for? Hey, as long as you can hold up your end of the 50-50 bargain. But there's no way to get a man that makes the same amount as you. There's only two choices: a man that makes more, a man that makes less. But if you want to be a partner and you paying your own way, why do you need a man that makes more than you? That's the question. Why do you need a man that makes more than you if you are a partner? As long as you can pay your way and they can pay their way, that's all that matters. So you just got to be able to pay 50% of rent. You got to be able to pay your own car note, your own insurance. Every vacation y'all go on, y'all split it down the middle. Because because let's say if that guy did make 100 grand and this lady made 50,000, should the guy go, okay, cool, we're partners. You can only contribute up to $50,000 a year, so that's all I'm gonna do. And my other 50K, oh, that's mine, baby.
Mhm.
You don't see that. Nah, no, no, no.
Mhm.
So I got a separate house over here where I keep all my nice stuff that you can't afford. You know,
You know what's
they don't.
funny? As
Except
childish as
people,
this shit sounds, I know a guy who he doesn't quite fall into that category, but he falls in that category. Meaning, like he's like, look, I make enough to pay all the bills, but I still want her to have a job so that she can have financial literacy, right? So I know that no matter what, she's going to be okay because she's working and paying all her own bills. And it's so funny because I'm like, how the fuck do y'all plan together for the future? You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a shared account or anyway, this shit just sounds silly to me. We're splitting hairs at this point. Let's be honest. Women do not want men who are equal. They want men who are better. They want men who are taller, who make more money, who are stronger than them, right? And it's okay for them to say it, but then they start backtracking when they talk about, well, I want equal rights or I want equal say, I want a partner, I want to be respected. It's like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
We ran across one lady on the street who was a foreigner. She was from Colombia or something like that. And she really, 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 real deal. She had only been in America for maybe 6 months. She really thought women out here were ambitious and really wanted to work until they died and really wanted to be hustlers and go. I'm like,
nah.
man, to their lip service. But they sold this young lady and really made her believe that these women out here were different in a
Now
positive
she
way
out here like,
versus
what's
people in her
this?
country.
She was like,
Nah,
they
Yeah.
still out here looking for husbands. Hold on.
Yeah, it's called propaganda because no, they don't want equal. Because I mean, just imagine that you're a guy who makes $300,000 a year. If women really wanted partners, then you wouldn't be any more attractive because they're looking for someone that they can combine with. But if you make more than them, then you're not combining. You're subsidizing them. you're bankrolling them. So that's not your partner at that. Oh, they could be a junior partner. I mean, maybe that's the closest thing. They want to maintain their independence on your dime, and that's insane. So when you none of these arguments actually make sense. So when you talk about it, it just sounds absurd, which it is. And that's why you should, if you're looking for a lady, you should ask what you're looking for. They talk about a partner. They talk about equal. A lot of people don't even know what they're saying. They don't know the implications of what they're saying. Because if a man truly listens to them, and says, "Oh, okay, that's what you want. Cool. I can
You
keep all my
know,
money."
you had a good question one time. I don't know which platform it was on, but you were like, if you're independent, why the hell do you need a man that's dependable?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you're
You know what I'm saying?
independent,
So
exactly.
in this same
Yeah.
sentiment is like, well, if you want to be equals, why do you care if a man makes less than you? Or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Because,
what does
but
it matter?
yeah, well, here's the reason: is because it's it's wanting to be a partner in like a really advantageous position, right? Because if there was a job, right, and you're applying for it, and you're gonna come in at an entry level position or whatever, and they're like, but hey, we're gonna give you 50% stake in the company though, and you're like, okay, yeah,
All this
yeah,
shit
we'll
sounds
put you on
stupid
the
when you
board,
break it
nigga.
down.
It's like it is a win. It's a heavy win to be in the situation where you don't bring, you know what I'm saying, you don't bring the resources and you still get the benefits of the more resources.
The other
And so,
person is losing. They're being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
right. And so in acting in self-interest, I can see why that would be beneficial, but it's like when you introduce to the real world factors of it, right? There's going to be some consequence. And I think the issue lies in not wanting to uh, feel the consequence, right? Because everybody's worried about how it sounds. Because it sounds salty when you say it, like, "Oh, I'm not equal." What does that make me less of a human? No, and I think we're like measuring the wrong thing. It's not your value as a human, right? Yeah, you're just as
Hmm.
valuable as a body on Earth, right? But there's not equal roles to play. There's not an
Right.
equal. We've signed up to do different things, make decisions on different things, and that's just how it
Yeah.
is. If this was going to function, right? You got value in your role, but if you're not playing your role, you're not valuable.
That
That
makes a
is,
lot of damn sense. That's a good
yeah.
way to
If
put
you like, if you at a company, you working, you got a job, and you don't do what you're supposed to do in that job, but you do a lot of other things at the job, just not what you're supposed to do, you're gonna
it.
get fired.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I've been that guy before. I pretty much got fired. I can confirm the science on that.
Yeah.
Another quote.
The science is spoken.
Another
Uh,
quote. If you want a guy who's you know, you said, if, do you want a guy who's a leader, or do you want a guy who's a partner, right? Or do you want to be led, or do you want to be partner? And if you want a partnership, what does it matter if he can't lead?
because you know, well, he only needs to come up with 50% of the solution.
Uh
He
huh.
said, "So, oh my God, honey, I have this horrible problem, and we got to solve this. It's crazy. Okay, well, this is what we can do: A, B, C, X, Y, Z. Okay, what about the rest of it, girl? That's on you. What you talking about? I
Yeah.
can't solve 100% of the problem. We partners.
Hey, this guy that you're like, this hypothetical guy you're making, he
Yeah.
sounds like a douchebag.
Right.
Well, he sounds
Got a
like
whole
with this.
house over here for the
Wait,
shit you
wait, wait,
looking
wait, wait,
for.
wait, wait.
I got
I
that's the
think
solution, ho. That's the best you're gonna get
hey,
from
no,
me.
I think right now, I think what you're doing is kind of rude because this is what ladies want, and we should validate what they want. And so
Yeah.
the ladies are saying they want a partner, and partners don't solve your problem. They just bring you're a partner. So if he solved it all, then he'd be diminishing your role, and it would be like you're not as important. So that's a problem. So your
This shit
man should
is
not
so
pay.
ridiculous that there should be a South Park episode about it. That's how ridiculous this
Family
whole
Guy, South
conversation.
Park,
Yeah,
Futurama. Yeah, this.
yeah.
But I want to go back to what you were talking about with the gentleman that is
Hmm.
dating the lady, and
Hmm.
he can pay out the bills, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
What's the motivation for him to do so? Because she's independent, like you said. So I like to
Well,
tell
well,
ladies,
well. He's a little different. He doesn't fit the bill exactly because there are things that he pays for. Like it's not 50-50. He
right?
pays the majority
And
of
she wouldn't be there if it was 50-50.
I think at one point it was 50-50 though. Like literally both of them will say, he'll say, I don't want to lead. She'll say, I don't want to be led. And I'm like, y'all don't make no damn sense to me.
Yeah, I think they're just an anomaly, and then you might get those some from time to time, and
I
it's
think he
almost
still
like,
pay for the dates. I think when they go
yeah,
out, and I don't
Well,
think that she
here's the
pays for
thing
half of
now.
Valentine's Day. I don't think that she. I don't think
So
whenever it's time to fill up the gas tank, she's like, "Did
yeah.
you do it last time, honey?" Yeah, I did, baby. Could you hop out this time? Yes, we. I don't. I don't. It's not. She wouldn't be there. She's like, if she not getting,
Oh
is
gosh, that
she
is so funny.
is she? I'm telling you, they might be like, yeah, let's play the bills 50-50. And she like, oh, honey, you hungry? Can you order us something to eat? I'm telling you, I guarantee it that
So from what I've noticed, like I've put him through this, my training program that I'm working on to help people move up
right.
in tech and all that. So literally, like the guy's income
That's
is
awesome.
like shot through the roof, right? And what I'm noticing is like as his income is going up, gender roles are starting to become more solid. Like she's like, hey, it'd be great if I didn't have to work anymore. Hey, it'd be great if you could do this. And he's more so like, okay, hey, I'll do this, but I'm gonna need you to do that. And it's becoming more transactional, right? Which I think it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's funny because they are less like what they were when I first met them and more traditional.
Things need to be more transactional. All of this, because transaction means it's decision based. I'm gonna do this for this. You're gonna do this for me, and then I'm gonna do this for you. That makes a lot of sense more than the murky, foggy dating scene. I don't know what we are. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, a proposal. I buy a ring. I offer you a $10,000 rock, and you say that you're not gonna touch another man. No, no, never let another man touch you. That's transactional. Women want to. The biggest thing that most women want is a transaction, and it costs money. I was looking at rings and like doing research, and they're like, you should spend 2.5 times the amount you make a month. I was like, who comes up with this ignorant
That's what I
nonsense?
said.
Who?
the
I was
diamond
like, I was like,
companies.
oh, it's
Like,
probably research done by the diamond industry. That's probably what it says at the
fuck the
bottom. I'm
nigga
like,
who
this
wrote
is.
this article. Fuck these niggas.
I was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
Absolutely not.
I was like, sure, like what? No, like she should accept the ring that you give her. That's what I mean. You- it's insane. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's the motivation for a guy to pay more than 50%? Yeah, but if you're independent, so I'm independent, I'm strong, I don't need a man. If that's you should give up on that because if that's you, if you're that strong, independent woman that doesn't need a man, cool. And that's what you're gonna look for. You're gonna look for men who respect your independence. Cool. Then you're looking for men who are not dependable because you're not interdependent. So you're looking for men who don't want you to depend on them. And then you
right.
run around screaming, why can't I depend on any? You men need to step up. Well, ma'am, you're looking for men who
Yeah,
want you to be independent and respect your independence. That's
right.
insane that you are complaining about the results of the actions that you are striving for. That's like, man,
Mm.
you know what? I hate this job. What are you, the CEO? I worked so hard to get here. I hate it. Well, why did you do it? I don't know. I hate it. I
Yeah,
hate it. Like, wait, okay, wait. You're gonna have a lot of questions for that person because it's gonna sound idiotic. It's not gonna sound very smart. It's not gonna sound like this person is thinking through the things that they're saying and doing, and that's what most people are doing here. But
yeah. You're not gonna go where you're not needed. You're not gonna a man's not gonna stay where he's not needed. Cause what's the
no,
point? Go somewhere where you're most useful and you're most desired, right?
you don't like you can't. And I this another thing I like to say. I'm independent. Sweet, then you'll be single. Why? Why do I need to be single if I'm independent? Well, ma'am, you can't be independently in a relationship. You can't do it. It's impossible.
Like, what's
You
the
should
point?
try it. Try to be independent while also being in a relationship. You're not going to be independently in that relationship by yourself. That doesn't make any sense. But let's listen. This is one more clip on
So,
this
okay.
video, and then we're going to go ahead and finish it out.
I want you guys to understand how often you hear the word manifest come out of modern women's mouths. Because modern women have made money. Some modern women have made what they call money. Modern women are free. Like between this woman and the 43-year-old woman, those are the perfect contrast. Both of them are safe. Ain't nobody trying to boop them upside their head or throw them behind a trash can and take advantage of them. So they feel safe. But both of them are equally Contributing what? Once their lives is over, the bloodline stops with them. That is a selfish life. And women, I'm asking the question: why are you this alone? Because human beings are social creatures. Women today aren't different. They're just busy. Anyway, you got women to today to where now the only way they can get their man is God has to make it happen. That's
That
what this
part.
manifest stuff is. And if you heard her, what does manifest intent? What does manifest
Good. How are
entail?
you?
At 38 years old, what does manifest mean to you?
So for me, and what it's meant in
Pay
my life
attention.
is that if there's something I want to do or be around, I only surround myself around that. So before I bought my house, for example, that's all I, not all I talked about, but I wanted to be around other people that were homeowners and kind of said it before it was already mine. That's what manifest means. So it means that it may not be yours yet, but that you say it and that you believe it and that you continuously surround yourself around those things.
And then what else?
And then you just keep chugging until you get there. And then when
Else.
you surround yourself around those things.
And then what else? Look at what that happened. I asked her when she wanted to get a house. What did she do? She surrounded herself about it. All she did was talked about it. She did this, she did that, and then she just sat back and I'm saying to the women, all right, and then what else?
All right, and that's the end of that one right there. And then what else? That's the question we ask. You know, what comes after the success? That's another way to ask that question. We asked that one on
Well,
2 episodes ago. Go ahead.
so let me chime in and say this. I think that of all the women call in the Kevin Samuels show and say some of the dumbest stuff. I put it on for my wife, and every time she's like, "She making us look bad." I'm like, at some point, it ain't her making you. This is what most women sound like. Y'all just are down bad right now.
My sister
See,
said the
y'all look
same
bad.
thing. Real quick,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah,
interject. I'll
yeah.
let you get back to that. My sister said the same thing. I don't know why women go on that show. They make themselves look dumb. I'm like, but they saying what y'all believe. This is so. It's not. Are they making themselves look dumb, or is what most ladies today believe dumb?
And it
Cause
just sounds shocking when you hear it out loud.
yeah, what? What do you mean? We're partners. What do you mean? What do you mean you're not gonna pay for that? You're like, man, I can't bail you out. I can only give you $300 and $600 to get you out, and I can only give you this 300, but you got to make it up on the rent. But my check don't hit till Friday. Well, you gonna get out on Friday,
Hey,
baby.
bro, we should make a series with an equal guy, bro. No one on YouTube is doing that right
I'm
now.
about the equal man.
Boy, boy. Okay,
Oh,
so
bro, we should go out and do questions and be like, yeah, it's like, man, would you like this? Well, isn't that what you want? Don't you want to be treated equally? They're like, well, you still, as a lady, you still want to be treated better. Got it. Understand? Yeah.
but
So
yeah,
is it time? So we got about 7 minutes left, and but go ahead, go ahead.
yeah, no. So I was gonna say, she said something smarter than what the average person who calls in the show says, right? I forget what the word is, but it's something by proximity, right? Meaning like if there are five people and I hang out with them, I'll be the sixth. If there's six losers and I hang out with them, I'll be the seventh. Whatever, right? That's
Yeah,
what I heard from her, right? I want to be around homeowners. I want to be intentional about being a homeowner. Now,
Hmm.
she didn't really say how the hell she was going to do it. She just said, I'm going to focus on it and I'm going to surround myself. And I think that's a good start.
wait, are you telling women to get rid of their single friends if they want to be married?
For the most part, hell yeah. Absolutely.
How dare
Absolutely.
you?
It
How
just makes sense. Like there's some like you don't need to read a book on how to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes to realize, okay, I am not where I want to be physically. I'm overweight. I either need to try to convince my other overweight friends to kind of let's go on a journey, or I need to get around some more fit people. One of the two needs to happen. You know what I'm saying? And you can't control people, so you might as well go to where the standards are higher.
Absolutely.
It's you don't need to be, you know what I'm saying, told certain things. I like if you are a human being with an inkling of intelligence, some shit just makes sense. Just like some shit just don't make sense.
Some stuff doesn't make sense, and I think it's time to give a lot of it up. So yes, if you want a man that you'll actually be attracted to, if you don't want to be responsible, if your guy, you're like most ladies, because there's only two options: make more than you or less than you. The guy can't make about; he should make about the same. No, so you want a man that makes more than you. So cool. That's cool. Are you okay with only having access to the exact same amount of money that he makes, and are you okay with having any danger you're getting up to? You can never stand behind him, so that he will help you wash the dishes, well, load the dishwasher, and change the diapers, and cook. Are you okay with that? If you are, there are men that are cool with that. And the other thing, anytime a lady, an attractive woman, that is over the age of 23, tells me that she wants, I'm just looking for a guy who's gonna treat me with respect, who has a good personality, and then I'm not really concerned about money. Lie, because you would have had that. It's a bunch of dudes that are just fine. They just don't have no money, and you don't have no time for them. When women say that, that literally means I've never met a decent man in my life. I've never met a man with a good personality. I've never met a man. It's not the money. No, money doesn't matter. I just never met a decent human being that was a man that was sexually attracted to me.
I agree.
Okay, model. Okay, 140 pound, 5'7", 5'8" lady do with the perfect shape and the gorgeous face. You just never met a decent person. Either you either just you have to dislike men at that point, or just not like what they are, which is the problem. And it's time to give that nonsense up, because it's a
Yeah,
lie. It's impossible.
Yeah, and I think what's happened a lot with those women, and it's happened with the men that despise women, that don't understand anything about women. Everybody, there's just like the grass is greener complex, that everybody is so jealous, right? They're like envious of the benefits that the other party receives. They don't even want to see you receive it, right? Like there's women that don't want to give a man like that leadership, because like that looks like it's good. Like I want all those benefits, and they don't understand where those benefits are derived from. And same
yeah,
like the men that are like, women don't gotta pay for anything. I want to live a lifestyle. Like, why can't I live like you? And it's like, well, that comes with a certain form
you
of like
gotta make a choice.
submission, right? You got
You
to
gotta make
be
a
a
choice.
woman to really enjoy those benefits. So it's like, if people look at, or if you understand the value of what that role is supposed to play, it doesn't come with the same perks and benefits. It doesn't come with the same set of guidelines. But if you want these few benefits that you really, really want, you want the things, you want to be able to not have to go to work and feel protected, and be in like the midst of that ambition, these things that you say you desire, right? And discipline you look for in a man. He's gonna move that way. He's liable to have some qualities of a man that moves that way. You're gonna have to like, well, that's what comes with that,
Hmm.
and I can't be independent depending on somebody. Um, kind of this just multitude of all these contradicting adjectives. I
All
don't
these
like think you just make
contradicting
that
adjectives.
work.
I know a young lady, right? Who, she's a modern woman. She wants to be taken care of. She wants him to pay most of the bills. Da, da, da. But and I think we haven't touched on this. There's a low, well, not with her. I think for most women, there's a low level of contempt for men, just a low regard for men. And one of the other things she'll say is, "I want." She's like, if a guy told me, "Hey, you don't have to work anymore. I'll pay all the bills," it would scare me shitless. And I said, "Why?" She was like, "Because now it means that you're taking away my ability to earn. You're taking away my ability to leave you if I decide to." Right? And it's like, with that logic, like, it's contradicting. You're never going to get what you want.
Right?
It
You
doesn't even
can't.
make sense.
Yeah,
Nope.
you can't be receiving things without giving something up, and
Yeah.
so that's gonna put you in
They
like
want
this
it all.
trap of never feeling like you're getting anything, because you're so scared to give up. You like, I now I need to keep this independence too, and it's like, if he not needed, if the man isn't needed there, and if you are determined to do it on your own, I'm not gonna stay there and help you be independent.
And what benefit does it give to the man to sit there and bankroll you and keep you in a position to leave him at any point in time? It doesn't even make any sense. Hey, I just want to make sure I can leave you when I need to. Okay, honey, did you need some more money? That doesn't make any sense. That's illogical. That's like if a woman comes in and says, "I need you. I'm dependent on you." Well, men are biologically designed to want to be a hero, to want to protect, to basically, and that's going to actually jump into the like the advice. So let's go ahead. Let's hit the advice real quick.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah. You know what I
so
was thinking though, as you said that, like if I had two extremes, right? If I had a woman who says I'm independent, I'm whatever, I don't need you, and I had a woman who says like I need you, like I can't, like my brain first was like she sounds needy, but then the other part was like, but that's attractive. You know what I'm saying? Because I can come in and I can be that guy versus the other one is just like, well, fuck you too then, shit. We
Right.
don't need each other.
It's yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, AB.
That was
you,
it. That was it. That was it.
you remember that girl I asked, like, would you ever marry a man who said he didn't need you? And she's like, no, because I don't need him.
Mm-hmm.
That's the logic. That's how it rolls.
Interesting, man. Okay, let's get into advice. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
Anybody who has advice to give today?
Man, I got some. I got some. I
Spoon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My advice is to yeah, yeah. You do need to give up. Uh, if your way of thinking, if you think you're going to receive without giving, and here's my advice about the giving. Right, um, you need to the need for a man needs to be a psychological. Right, you don't have to physically deprive yourself of all your being and your ability to go earn, right? But he needs, it's an art to it, if I can say. He needs to feel like he's needed so that he understands that this is a place where he needs to do things. And you can't try to embody all this independence and put it out there. Of course, it's a day and age where you can be independent, right? You can save money and make yourself comfortable, and you can learn skills in the meantime. I'm sure he'll help put you through school if he has the means, and you can develop these things to add value and make yourself a valuable person, right? And feel special about yourself. But you have to learn the art to do it in a way. If you want somebody to be around to help you build value in who you are, become a better person, raise your family up, you got to be, you got to know how to play the game, and you got to know how to give that man the thing he needs to do that. Because he's not going to feel the desire to go out there and be successful and to come back and provide for you and to play these roles you want him to play if you don't need him to. If there's no motivating factors, if there's no give, there's no submission, you're gonna have to give some of that, and you're gonna have to trust in the process that you knew how to pick a quality man, right? He's not some wild batshit crazy low life. You picked a quality one. It's an investment. You got to give up some investment. You got to forego some reward so that you can win later. And so just look at it as an investment in whatever you want to look at it in yourself, but it's just illogical to think that you can get that without some sacrifice. And then same for the men. Just you got to look at it as an investment in yourself, and not take easy women who aren't ready to give anything up, who are looking for partnerships they don't really want, and find you somebody and focus on somebody with some realistic give and understanding of how the process works. So
Yes, sir. That boy speaking to the choir.
Absolutely. And then I got advice for men and women on this one. Let's do the ladies first this time. Ladies, I'm not gonna like the way this sounds, but it's 100% true. You and this, and I'll give you the logic behind it. Your man is a job, and you should treat him that way. If you're looking for a job to love, it's your man. That's a job that you should love. That's a job that you should work the hardest at, right? You treat them like a job. Think about it. You don't need a man because if you get a job, why is that? Women say, "Oh, I can leave you. I got to make sure. So I got this job over here. I can replace a man with a job because a man and a job. Those are the two. Those things. The two most closely related things are having a man and a job. That's why women can replace a man with a job, and that's what Western women have done. They've replaced their men with jobs. They provide them a sense of security. They feel protected by the job. The job has their health insurance. The job pays them, some of them, enough to live in decent neighborhoods, so on and so on and so on. So you should put your man first and treat him like you would a career. So you know how we got people that make $13 an hour focusing on their career. Well, you need to be making $9 an hour for focusing on your career as a housewife. And they actually used to say, "I'm a career housewife." It's a job. It is a job, and you must treat it as such. You got to come to work every day like you want to be there. Nobody want to be at work with nobody. Nobody wants to employ someone who just acts like they don't want to be there all the time. You're gonna get fired. And that's what happens to most of the ladies. But he is a job, so treat him as such. Okay. Um, so, and then for men, it's gonna be you are hiring. When you get a lady, that's like you're hiring, right? So you have an employee. So you're gonna treat her like an employee, right? So if you're a guy and you don't have the retirement plan, you don't have a career path for her, that she's gonna go from step one. Okay, she's a new hire. These are the benefits. Then she goes step two, three, four, five. If she doesn't see growth going in the future, then it's not a career. It's just a job, and nobody stays at jobs very long. Nobody stays at dead end jobs, in particular. And anyone who stays at a dead end job long term is not worth a career in the first place. So you're not gonna find a decent woman if you don't have a decent employment package. You have to be a leader. She has to be able to trust in you. And if you want a woman to be with you long term, a woman to marry you, you need to have it all the way down to the retirement plan. Because if she doesn't see that and see how she can be a part of it, right? And if she doesn't have to qualify for the job, if anybody can get a job, it's called unskilled labor. So if you don't have any skills and if you don't have any requirements, and unskilled labor can come into that job, then if they feel they have anything more, any basic education, any basic skills, then they're going to be gone in a heartbeat. You have to give these women a career path if you are a man. And ladies, you do need to be qualified, in being a girlfriend. Kevin Samuels calls it the girl. Well, actually, Kevin Samuels doesn't call it that. That is just it. Women do offer like the girlfriend experience. There is even women are so lonely in China that now men are selling the boyfriend experience. You can hire a man and give you the boyfriend experience by the hour in China. I think
We
maybe
talked
in
about
Japan
that,
as well.
Sloan. We talked about that.
We
Yeah,
talked about that topic.
it's gonna cut that look like it's gonna come here as well. So you have to be proficient. It's a job. You got to look at the job, and 80% of men are just the same. Every man is different. Stop. Every man wants 80% the same thing. It's like 20% wiggle room in there. But the job, show up to work on time. Don't talk back to the management. You know what I'm saying? Get with the program. You're not there to redefine the company. The company already has leadership. There's basic things that you must do. Period. There's basic things that you must do, basic skills that you must have. So treat it like a job, understand. And if you want to know the job description, you got to look up male nature to find out what men want, understand men, then you'll understand what the job is all about. Men, you need to do the same thing because you got a lot of things that you have to do to be leaders. But that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you guys think that we right, wrong, we hit the nail right on the head, leave a comment, share your thoughts with us. And anything else from you guys? Are we ready to wrap up?
Good. I'm good.
Yes.
Cool, man. Well, on to the next one.
All right.
Yes, sir.